My dear friends, please support me by clicking the subscribe button. Your support means so much to me. Let's grow this family together. Thank you so much. Choices, and how life can surprise us when we least expect it. A mother's dream, a daughter's heart, and the twist that changed everything. Let's begin. In the heart of Abuja, in a small but neat two-bedroom flat, lived Mummy Esther, a proud, sharp-tongued woman with a loud voice and even louder dreams. Her only daughter, Esther, was the light of her life and the talk of the street. People said Esther was the most beautiful girl in the neighborhood. One bright Saturday morning, as the sun kissed the dusty streets and chickens clucked in nearby compounds, Mummy Esther sat outside her house on a plastic chair, fanning herself and talking with her neighbor, Auntie Bola. Mummy Esther with pride, my Esther is not for boys who wear slippers and walk around aimlessly. God did not give me fine daughter for poor men, oh. Auntie Bola smiling, Mummy Esther calm down. At least let the girl find love first now. Mummy Esther frowning, love what? You think love can buy gas? Can love pay rent? My dear, no love without money in this Abuja. Inside the house, Esther could hear every word. She was sweeping the living room, shaking her head sadly. Her heart was soft, gentle. She wanted a man who would love her, respect her. But Mummy didn't care about love. All she talked about was money. Later that evening, Esther sat outside with her mother, watching people walk by. Esther softly, Mummy. Must I marry a rich man? Mummy Esther sharp tone, no, you will marry a poor man so both of you can cry together every night, Abby. Nonsense. Esther, I suffered too much in this life. You will not suffer like me. You must marry well. Esther, but what if he doesn't love me? What if I'm not happy? Mummy Esther, happiness will come when you enter Range Rover and see air condition blowing you like breeze. Esther looked away, blinking back tears. She knew arguing was useless. Her mother's mind was set. But deep inside her heart, Esther wished for something different. She whispered to herself, Esther, I just want to be happy. Is that too much? Word spread quickly across the neighborhood like Harmattan fire. Mummy Esther, daughter was ready for marriage. One by one, men started to visit, carrying small gifts, smiling sheepishly, and hoping to win Esther's heart. It was on Sunday. The aroma of jollof rice filled the air, and gospel music played softly in the background. Esther was in the kitchen cooking while her mother sat in the parlor, tying her best wrapper and spraying perfume like she was the one getting married. Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. Knock knock. Mummy Esther, excitedly, Esther. Come and open the door. I think it's another suitor. Esther opened the door and saw a tall young man dressed simply in a clean shirt and jeans. His name was Emeka, a quiet, respectful tailor from the next street. Emeka, bowing slightly, good afternoon, Ma. Good afternoon, Esther. Mummy Esther, looking unimpressed, afternoon. Sit down. What do you want? Emeka, nervously, Ma, I came to greet you. And to tell you, I want to marry your daughter. Mummy and Daddy, laughing, you want to marry Esther? Do you have car? Emeka, no Ma, but I have a small tailoring shop. I sew uniforms and, Mummy Esther, cutting him off, tailor. You want to sow poverty into our life? God forbid. Esther's face turned red with shame. She couldn't believe how her mother was talking. Esther, gently, Mummy, please now. At least hear him. Mummy Esther, angrily, shut up there. Is it not me that gave birth to you? I said no. Emeka stood up, heartbroken. He looked at Esther one last time. Emeka, it's okay. Thank you for your time. Esther, take care. He walked out quietly. Esther followed him with her eyes, a tear rolling down her cheek. Later that night, Esther sat with her mother. Esther, angrily, why are you chasing every man away? What if he becomes rich tomorrow? Mummy Esther, said my friend, keep quiet. I'm doing this for your own good. You will thank me later. I'm praying for a big man. A real man with money, cars, land, and connections. Esther whispers, tomorrow can change. 3 weeks passed. The parade of poor suitors slowed down thanks to Mummy Esther. Sharp tongue. Esther became quieter each day. She didn't smile as much anymore. But one hot Tuesday afternoon, Mummy Esther, eyes lit up when she heard the sound of a big car engine outside their gate. A shiny black SUV parked gently in front of their house. 2 well-dressed men came down, one in a brown kaftan, the other in white. The one in white wore a gold wristwatch that sparkled like sun on water. Mummy Esther, whispering, hey, Esther, come and see. Oh, God has answered my prayer. Esther came out reluctantly. Her heart beat fast when she saw the men. The one in white smiled and stepped forward. Rich man, deep voice, good afternoon. I am Chief Mike. I came to see Mummy Esther and her daughter. Mummy Esther almost dancing. Ah, you are welcome, Chief. Come inside, sit down. My daughter, Esther, she's here. Oh, Ada, come and greet your husband. Sorry, visitor. Esther gave him a soft greeting. Her eyes were low. She didn't like how he looked at her, like she was a new car he wanted to buy. They sat in the parlor, and Chief Mike wasted no time. Chief Mike, I heard a lot about Esther Beauty. I have lands from China, I'm doing cars, businesses. I want to marry her. No long talk. Mummy Esther shouting with joy, Jesus. God of mercy. Esther, you hear that? Your life has changed today. Esther quietly, sir, thank you. But can I think about it? Chief Mike smiling, you don't need to think much. Everything you need, I will provide. I will take you abroad, build you a salon, give your mother a new house. Mummy Esther, shouting, my God is good. Esther said to her, don't embarrass me. Say yes. Esther looked at her mother, then at Chief Mike. Her heart was heavy. Later that night, she sat alone in her room. Her friend, Zara, came to visit. Zara concerned, baby girl, your eyes are red. You've been crying. Esther, Zara, my mummy wants me to marry a man I don't even like. Zara, is it that rich man from today? Esther nodding, he talks like he owns me already. But mummy is excited. She thinks money is everything. Zara sighing, be careful. Money can buy a bed, but not sleep. Esther wiped her tears and hugged her friend tightly. Esther whispers, I don't feel safe. I don't feel free. But I don't have a choice. The next morning, Mummy Esther woke up early. She tied her best wrapper, wore her gold earrings, and started frying puff puff like it was a celebration. Mummy Esther singing joyfully songs. Esther go marry money, oh. Money go carry Esther. Amen, oh. Esther sat quietly at the dining table. She hadn't slept all night. Her food sat untouched. Mummy Esther beaming, Esther, my daughter, eat. Do you know that Chief Mike sent 500,000 naira this morning? Just for greeting. And he said that's just the beginning. Esther softly, Mummy, I'm not hungry. Mummy Esther raising her voice, ah, you want to fall my hand. Do you know how many girls are praying for this kind of opportunity? Esther stood up and walked outside. She leaned against the wall, trying to catch her breath. She felt like a prisoner in her own home. Later in the evening, Chief Mike came again, this time with wine, gifts, and a small group of elders. It was a mini introduction. Chief Mike smiling confidently, I don't like to waste time. I want to marry Esther next month. We'll do the proper traditional wedding in port, then travel to Dubai for honeymoon. The elders nodded in approval. Mummy Esther danced around like someone who just won a jackpot. Esther, what do you say? Esther whispers, yes, sir. Her voice was low, almost lost in the noise. Only Zara noticed how Esther's hands trembled as she held the wine glass for the traditional ritual. Zara pulling her aside, baby girl, are you sure? Esther eyes filled with tears, what can I do, Zara? Mummy won't listen. I don't want to disgrace her. Zara, but what about you? Your peace, your future. Esther, I just want to make her happy. I will be fine. The guests clapped. Mummy Esther announced with pride. Mummy Esther, Abuja people, my daughter is marrying a millionaire. Let the haters drink pepper soup in silence. That night, Esther locked herself in her room. She removed her earrings, her heels, and stood in front of the mirror. She whispered to her reflection. Esther softly, today I said yes to a man I don't love. All because of money. But tomorrow may change. The traditional wedding was loud, colorful, and filled with expensive things. The wine flowed, music blasted through loudspeakers, and people sprayed money like rain. But through it all, Esther didn't smile. Not once. She wore gold lace and a heavy red coral bead necklace. But under all that beauty was a girl whose heart was crying. MC at the wedding shouting, make some noise for the newest EAO of Abuja. Esther, aka Mrs. Mike Moneybag. Everyone screamed in joy, but Esther's eyes were far away. As the wedding ended and Chief Mike led her to his mansion and she sat beside him in the car, quiet like a statue. Wedding night. They entered a large room with marble floors, golden curtains, and a huge king-sized bed. Chief Mike grinning, Sadat, now you are my wife. You must learn to make me happy. Esther nervously, yes sir. Chief Mike frowning, sir, I'm your husband now. You must call me darling or, sweetheart. Esther nodded but didn't speak again. From that night, her life became a golden cage. She wore expensive clothes, ate expensive food, lived in a beautiful house, but she was not allowed to be free. Chief Mike controlled everything. She couldn't visit her friends. She couldn't travel unless he approved. Even phone calls became a problem. One afternoon, tried to call Zara. Chief Mike walking in. Who are you talking to? Esther. Zara. My friend. Chief Mike snatching the phone. I didn't give you permission to make calls. You belong to me now. Stop behaving like a village girl. Esther bit her lip and held back tears. That night, she called her mother. Esther. Mummy, I'm not happy. Mummy. Esther laughing. Ah, what's there to be unhappy about? You're in a mansion. You're living the dream. Esther whispers, it doesn't feel like a dream. It feels like prison. Mummy. Esther angrily, don't say that again. If you spoil this marriage, I will disown you. Rich men are not perfect. Endure and enjoy. Esther dropped the phone slowly. She turned and looked out the window. Esther to herself, this is not the life I wanted. I am a wife, but I have no smile. At first, Chief Mike still flaunted his money. New cars, new clothes, and lunch in expensive restaurants. But Esther noticed something strange. The staff in the house stopped smiling. Suppliers stopped bringing food on time. The generator was off more often. And one day, Esther saw a red stamp on a letter from the bank. Esther. Curious. What is this paper, Chief? Chief Mike snatching it. Mind your business. This is not for your. Esther kept quiet, but she knew something wasn't right. Chief Mike became angry easily. He started shouting over small things. He drank too much. He didn't come home some nights. One evening, a man in a suit knocked on their gate. Gatekeeper. Nervous. Madam, they say they are from the bank. Esther stood at the window and listened. Bank official sternly, sir, this is your third warning. If you don't pay the loan, we will seize the house. Esther heart dropped. That night, she found Chief Mike sitting in the dark, drinking. Esther gently, what's happening? Chief Mike angrily, you're part of the problem. I married you and everything started going down. Bad luck. Esther shocked, what? How is this my fault? Chief Mike yelling, don't talk back at me. You think beauty is enough. Where is the good luck your mother promised? He threw the glass at the wall. It shattered. Esther ran into the bedroom, locked the door, and cried. Meanwhile, Zara called. Zara, baby girl, are you okay? I heard things are not smooth. Esther teary voice, Zara. The money is disappearing. The love is gone. I feel like a mistake. Zara. You were never the mistake. He is. And guess what? That poor boy you once dated. He's now a millionaire. Esther shocked. Which poor boy? Zara. John, your old boyfriend. The one Mummy chased away. Esther couldn't believe her ears. Zara laughing, he owns a tech company now. He just opened an office in Lagos. And guess what again, he's dating someone. Esther whispers, who? Zara pause, your best friend. Eve. Esther whole body went cold. Esther to herself, I married money. But today, money is gone. I lost love. And now love has found someone else. What have I done? The once golden mansion was now quiet. Too quiet. No more parties. No more servants. The fridge was empty. Even the perfume that used to fill the house had faded. Esther sat in the living room in her wrapper, her face bare, no makeup, no lashes, no smile. Chief Mike grumbling, Esther, go and find something to cook. Esther, there's no food. Chief Mike shouting, then go and beg your mother. Esther didn't reply. She quietly picked her slippers and walked out. She had never walked alone on the street since she married him. People stared. Market woman, is that not the chief's wife? What happened to her shine? She ignored them and bought a few cups of gari and dry fish on credit. Later that night, Chief Mike was gone. He left a note. I've traveled. Don't wait for me. If the bank comes, tell them you know nothing. Esther read it over and over again. Her hands began to shake. He had run away. Esther whispering, he left me. With nothing. She fell to her knees and cried. She called her mother. Esther, Mummy, everything is gone. Chief Mike has run. I have no money, no food, nothing. Mummy. Esther snapping, you better not come to my house with shame. You're still his wife. Go and look for him. Esther sobbing, Mummy, you forced me. You pushed me into this. I wanted John. Mummy. Esther, John was poor. Poor people don't build a future. I wanted the best for you. Esther, but now, I have nothing. There was silence. Then the line cut. Esther stared at her phone. She had nobody. Meanwhile, in Lagos, John and Eve were holding hands at a press conference. Journalist, Mr. John, tell us how you made it from zero to billionaire. John smiling, I started with nothing but vision. I believed in myself. And I didn't give up. Eve smiling, I'm proud of him. He's a good man. Journalist, there's a rumor that you were once heartbroken by a girl. Any truth? John paused. John, let's just say, what you lose is not always a loss. Sometimes, rejection is God's redirection. They both laughed. Back in Abuja, Esther walked out to buy sachet water. She passed by her old school friend who used to envy her wedding. Old friend, Ada, is this really you? Esther, yes. Life happened. Old friend, I heard your ex is now a millionaire. And you're like this. Esther smiled sadly. Esther rich today, broke tomorrow. I wore the crown, but it broke. The morning sun peeked through the cracked window of Esther's small room. She woke up on a thin mattress on the floor, the only thing left from her old life. She stretched and looked at the mirror. A face full of tears and lessons stared back. Esther whispering, this is not the end. I am more than a rich man's wife. She stood up and made a small breakfast with the dry fish and Gary she had bought on credit. Later that day, Esther walked to a nearby market with a small basket. She decided to sell akara, bean cake, to survive. At the market, people whispered. Woman said, is that Ada? From the big house. Another one, she's selling akara now. What a fall. Esther overheard but smiled politely. Esther to herself, let them talk. I will make my own path. She sold every akara quickly. A few customers even praised her warm smile. That evening, Esther met Zara. Zara excited, Esther, I heard you're selling akara. That's the spirit. Esther, I have no choice. Zara. Life broke me, but I won't stay broken. Zara. Remember John. He believed in himself and won. You can too. Esther nodded. Esther akara business grew slowly but steadily. She woke up early, worked hard, and kept her head high. She met a young man at the market. Young man. You're Esther, right? I've heard about your story. I'm Daniel, and I work in a tech company nearby. Esther smiling, nice to meet you, Daniel. Daniel began helping Esther with ideas on how to grow her business. He gave her contacts, helped with social media, and even lent her money to buy ingredients. Slowly, Esther's confidence grew. Meanwhile, John and Eve's relationship was strong, but something was missing. John called Esther one afternoon. John, Esther, I hear you're doing well. I'm proud of you. Esther, thank you, John. I hope you're happy. John, I am, but I also hope we all find true happiness, with or without money. Looked at the sky and smiled. She was no longer just a rich man's wife, or a poor girl. She was Esther, strong, wise, and free. Esther akara business was no longer just a small table at the market. It had grown into a busy food stall with many customers lining up every morning. She woke up early every day, mixing beans, frying akara, and serving with a bright smile. But success didn't come without problems. One morning, Ada found a group of young men blocking her stall. Leader mocking, hey, Esther. Looks like you're doing well. But this is our territory. You need to pay us protection, money. Esther heart pounded. Esther firmly, I just want to sell food. I don't have money for protection. Leader grinning, you better think carefully. We don't like no, around here. Esther did answer. She knew she had to find a way to keep her business safe. Later, Daniel came to the market. Daniel serious, Esther, I heard about the trouble. We can talk to some people who might help. Esther, I don't want to cause problems. Daniel, sometimes you have to fight for what you've built. Together, they reached out to a local community leader who helped stop the harassment. At the same time, Esther's mother called again. Mummy, Esther, I heard you're selling akara now. What happened to my daughter? Esther, Mummy, I'm building my own life. Not through someone else's money. Mummy, Esther, you're stubborn, but maybe you will learn. Esther did answer. She felt free for the first time in a long time. Meanwhile, John invited Esther to a tech business event in Lagos. John, Esther, I want to introduce you to people who can help your business grow. Esther felt nervous but accepted. At the event, Esther met many smart, successful people. Some remembered her story and admired her courage. On her way home, Esther received a message. Text, you are stronger than you think. Keep going. Someone who cares. Esther smiled, feeling hope bloom in her heart. It was a bright afternoon in Lagos. Esther walked out of the conference hall, still thinking about the people she met. and the new doors opening for her business. Suddenly, a familiar voice called out. Voice, Esther. She turned around and saw Eve, John's best friend and her old school friend. Esther surprised. Esther, what a surprise. They hugged warmly. Eve, I heard about everything. Esther, I'm so sorry for how things ended. Esther, thank you, Eve. It's been a rough journey. Eve smiled. Eve, I'm married to John now, you know. But I always hoped we could be. Esther nodded, feeling a mix of emotions. Eve invited Esther to her home for dinner. At the dinner table, the three of them, John, Eve, and Esther, shared stories and laughter. John looked at Esther with respect. John, I never stopped believing you'd do great things, Esther. Esther smiled. Esther, life is full of surprises, isn't it? But as the night went on, Ada felt a quiet sadness. She realized she had lost more than money. She lost a love that could have been. Yet, she also saw new friendships grown. Esther sat in her new office, surrounded by business plans and dreams. Her phone buzzed. It was a message from Daniel. Message, Esther, ready for the next step. Esther smiled. She was no longer the girl who needed rich men to survive. She was a woman ready to build her own empire. The next morning, Esther woke up with determination. No more waiting. No more depending on others. She called Daniel. Esther, Daniel, let's start the online delivery service. People want Akara but can't always come to the market. Daniel, great idea. I will set up the website and social media pages. Weeks passed. Orders came flooding in from all over Abuja, and even Esther hired 2 helpers and trained them to prepare Akara just like she did. She smiled every time a new order came through. Esther received a call from an unexpected person. Voice, Esther, this is Chief Mike. L want to talk. Esther heart skipped a beat. Esther firm, what do you want, Mike? Chief Mike, I made mistakes. I'm broke now. I want to start over with. Esther paused. Esther, I'm not the same girl you married. I'm building my own life. Chief Mike, I'm sorry. Can we meet? Esther thought carefully. She replied, number. I'm moving forward, not backward. She hung up and smiled. That evening, Daniel joined Esther at her new small office. Daniel, you're amazing, Esther. You turned pain into power. Esther laughing, thanks, Daniel. Let's keep going. The best is yet to come. Esther online Akara business was booming. Orders came from different cities, and people loved her tasty Akara. Every morning, she woke up early to prepare enough for the day. She worked hard but felt proud. One day, Daniel invited Esther to a cafe. Daniel smiling, Esther, you've come so far. I'm happy to be part of your journey. Esther blushing slightly, thank you, Daniel. I couldn't do it without you. They talked for hours, sharing dreams and hopes. As days passed, Daniel's visits became more frequent. Esther started to feel a warm, different kind of feeling in her heart. Meanwhile, John's wealth was shrinking fast. His business was failing, and he felt lost. One afternoon, Esther received a call from Eve. Eve worried, Esther, John needs help. Can you meet him? Esther hesitated but agreed. When met John, she saw a broken man who had lost everything. John softly, Esther, I was wrong. Money isn't everything. Esther smiled kindly. Esther, it's never too late to start again, John. Esther helped John find a small job. She wanted to show kindness, not revenge. Back to Daniel and Esther, their friendship was growing deeper. Daniel said, Daniel, Esther, I care about you more than just business. Esther heart raced. Esther, I feel the same, Daniel. Esther and Daniel's relationship blossomed like a fresh flower in the dry season. They spent more time together, supporting each other through the ups and downs of business and life. Daniel took Esther to a quiet park. Daniel. Esther, you inspire me every day. I want us to build a future together. Esther smiled shyly. Esther, I feel the same, Daniel. But the road ahead is not easy. Just then, Esther's phone rang. It was her mother. Mummy. Esther stern, Esther, why are you wasting time on that poor boy? You deserve a rich husband. Esther stood tall. Esther, Mummy, Daniel is kind and hardworking. That is what matters to me. Mummy. Esther sighed. Mummy. Esther, you will regret this someday. Meanwhile, news came that Chief Mike was back in Abuja, trying to rebuild his business, and he was watching Esther closely. Chief Mike visited Esther's stall. Chief Mike pleading, Esther, please give me another chance. Esther firm, I'm not the same girl, Mike. I'm moving forward. Daniel overheard and felt protective. Daniel quietly to Esther, no one will hurt you. I'm here. Esther smiled, feeling safe. But challenges didn't end there. Some competitors tried to spread rumors about Esther business. Customer, I heard her akara isn't fresh. Customer 2, is it true she got help from her ex-husband? Esther stayed calm. Esther to Daniel, let's prove them wrong by working harder. With Daniel's support, Esther improved her business, hired more helpers, and kept her customers happy. She learned that love and success come with challenges, and she was ready to face them. Esther Akara business was now known across Abuja and even beyond. People loved her food, and orders kept coming in every day. Her online delivery was a huge success. One busy afternoon, Daniel came rushing to Esther's stall. Daniel excited, Esther, I just got news from an investor. They want to meet you. Esther surprised, investor, me, really? The next day, Esther dressed in her best clothes and went to the meeting. The investors were impressed by her story and business plan. Investor, Esther, we want to help you grow your business nationwide. Esther's heart raced with hope. But just as things looked perfect, her phone rang again. It was her mother. Mummy Esther demanding, Esther, you must come home now. Your husband is in trouble. The rich man has lost his money. Esther's mind swirled. She had moved on from that life, but now it was calling her back. At home, Esther saw the rich man looking defeated. Rich man weak. Esther, I'm sorry for everything. Esther felt a mix of pity and strength. Esther, you forgot that money does not last forever. Back in the city, Daniel comforted Esther. Daniel, no matter what happens, you have built your own life. That is true wealth. Esther smiled. The news about the rich man's financial ruin spread quickly in the neighborhood. People whispered, surprised that the man Esther's mother had forced her to marry was now broke. One afternoon, as Esther was closing her stall, a car pulled up slowly. Out stepped the rich man, looking humble and tired. Rich man, Esther, I want to ask for forgiveness. Esther looked him in the eyes, steady and calm. Esther, forgiveness is earned, not given. But I won't hold hate in my heart. Just then, Daniel arrived with a warm smile. Daniel, Esther, you don't have to carry the past alone. Esther nodded gratefully. Meanwhile, the rich man tried to restart his life, taking small jobs. He learned humility and hard work, lessons he never valued before. Back at the market, Esther's best friend, Nkechi, watched everything quietly. One evening, she called Esther. Nkechi, I'm proud of you. You are stronger than anyone I know. Esther smiled warmly. The days passed, and Esther's business continued to grow, with Daniel always by her side. But deep inside, Esther knew her journey was far from over. Esther and Daniel celebrated a big delivery milestone. Esther's phone buzzed with a message. It was from Mummy Esther. Mummy Esther text, Esther, come home, your husband wants to see you. Esther frowned. The rich man again. She hesitated but decided to visit. At the old family house, Ada found her mother and the rich man waiting. Rich man pleading, Esther, I made mistakes, but I'm asking you to come back. Esther firm, I am not that scared girl anymore. I have built my own life. Suddenly, Mummy Esther spoke sharply. Mummy Esther, you think money is everything? We arranged this marriage for security. Esther stood her ground. Esther's security is not just money. It's respect, love, and trust. Daniel was there too, quietly observing. After the meeting, he held Esther's hand. Daniel, you chose well, Esther. You're free now. But that night, Esther could not sleep. She thought about the rich man, her mother, and Daniel. Was she ready to forgive and move on completely? Or was there something more she needed to do? A few days after the tense meeting, Esther received an unexpected visitor, her mother's close friend, Mrs. Ease. Mrs. Ease, Esther, your mother asked me to give you this. She handed Esther an envelope. Esther opened it carefully and found old letters and photos, memories from her childhood, including pictures of her and her best friend Nkechi. That night, called Nkechi. Esther, Nkechi, I found something important. Let's meet tomorrow. The two friends met at a cozy cafe. Nkechi, what's going on, Esther? Showed her the letters. The letters revealed secrets about Esther's family and her mother's sacrifices. Esther realized her mother's tough decisions came from a place of fear and hope for her daughter's future. Feeling a mix of forgiveness and understanding, Esther decided to reach out to her mother. Esther calling, Mummy, I want us to talk. I want us to heal. Mummy Esther voice trembled. Mummy Esther, Esther, I've been waiting for this day. Meanwhile, Daniel planned a special surprise for Esther, a small party with close friends, including Nkechi. Esther smiled, feeling surrounded by love and support. Esther met her mother at a quiet park, a place they both loved when Esther was a child. Esther, Mummy, I want to understand you, your choices, and the past. Mummy. Esther looked down, then smiled softly. Mummy. Esther, I was scared for you, Ada. I wanted only the best. Esther took her mother's hand. Esther, I know, Mummy, but I also want to live my life my way. They talked for hours, sharing tears and laughter. The past pain began to soften as forgiveness took its place. Back home, Daniel and Nkechi helped Esther prepare for a new business idea, opening a small Akara cafe. Daniel, Esther, this is the next step. Together, we will make it a success. Esther felt hopeful. Her life was no longer just about survival but about dreams and love. But life's surprises weren't finished yet. It was a bright, sunny morning in Abuja. Esther was busy at her Akara stall, frying her famous Akara balls with the perfect golden brown color. The smell of fried beans filled the air, and customers lined up, chatting and laughing. Ada was in her element, working hard, smiling, and greeting everyone warmly. Suddenly, Nkechi rushed in, almost out of breath, her eyes wide with excitement. Nkechi panting, Esther, you won't believe what I just saw. Esther wiped her hands on her apron, smiling. Esther, slow down, Nkechi. What happened? Nkechi grinning, remember Chinedu? That poor boy from school, the one everyone ignored because he had no money. Esther's heart skipped a beat. Esther, yes, Chinedu. What about him? Nkechi, he's back. And he's rich now, Esther. Richer than anyone we know. And guess what? He's asking to see you. Esther felt her hands go cold. Her mind raced with memories of their school days, how Chinedu was kind, hardworking, but poor, and how they had been close friends before life pulled them. Esther sat nervously at a small cafe, the one she and Nkechi often visited. She played with her cup, watching the door every few seconds. Then the door swung open, and in walked Chinedu. He looked different, dressed sharply, confident, and successful. But his eyes held the same warmth she remembered. Chinedu smiling warmly, Esther, it's really you. Esther stood up slowly, her heart pounding. Esther, Chinedu, wow, I barely recognized you. They hugged, a little awkward at first, then more natural. They sat down, and Chinedu began to tell his story. Chinedu, after school, things were tough. No money, no help. But I worked hard, many jobs, late nights, sacrifices. And now, I have a business. Things are good. Esther listened, impressed and moved. Esther, I'm so proud of you. You never gave up. Chinedu's eyes softened. Chinedu, I never forgot you. Esther, you were always kind to me when no one else was. Esther felt a warm glow inside, memories of youthful friendship and maybe something more. At the cafe, Daniel sat quietly nearby, watching them talk. He smiled gently but felt a pang in his heart. He loved Esther, but he also wanted her to be happy, even if that meant letting go. Later, Daniel approached Esther. Daniel, Esther, I see how much he means to you. I want you to follow your heart. Esther looked at him, tears in her eyes. Esther, Daniel, you have been my rock through everything. I don't know what the future holds, but I'm grateful for you. Daniel nodded, understanding. That evening, Esther lay awake in bed, thinking about Chinedu, Daniel, and her life. Could she trust in a new beginning with Chinedu? Could she keep the steady love she had with Daniel? Or was her heart meant to choose one path? She whispered to herself, Esther, tomorrow, I have to decide. But whatever happens, I will live my life on my own terms. The morning sun shone softly through the window as Esther sat at her small kitchen table. Today was the day she would make a decision about her heart, her future, and what true happiness meant. Her phone buzzed with a message from Daniel. Daniel, no matter what you choose, I am proud of you. Esther smiled, touched by his kindness and strength. Later that day, Esther met with Chinedu at the cafe again. He looked hopeful but calm. Chinedu, Esther, I know I wasn't much before, but now I want to be the man you deserve. Will you give us a chance? Esther took a deep breath. Esther, Chinedu, I see the man you've become. But life has taught me it's not just about money or success. It's about love, respect, and honesty. They talked for hours, opening their hearts and sharing their dreams. Afterwards, Esther called her mother. Esther, Mummy, I forgive you for everything. I know you wanted the best for me, but I have to live my own life now. Her mother cried softly on the phone. Mummy, Esther, I'm sorry, my daughter. I want you to be happy. That evening, Esther invited Daniel and Nkechi to her home. Esther, I want to thank both of you. Daniel, for your patience and love. Nkechi, for being my rock. She smiled warmly. Esther and Chinadu, I'm willing to start again. But slowly. With trust. Weeks later, life settled into a new rhythm. Esther Akara business flourished with Daniel's help, and she and Chinadu rebuilt their friendship. Careful, and Esther realized something important: true wealth wasn't in money or power. It was in the people who stood by her, the love she nurtured, and the courage to choose her own path. She looked out at the Abuja skyline, heart full, ready for whatever tomorrow would bring. Esther, today is new, and I am free. Thank you so much for joining me on Esther's journey today. Her story reminds us that life is full of twists and turns. Sometimes, the richest people don't have the most money, and the poorest ones can hold the greatest treasures in there. Esther learned that love isn't just about wealth or status. It's about respect, honesty, and having the courage to follow your own path, even when others try to decide for you. Her story teaches us all a powerful lesson. True happiness comes from living your truth and surrounding yourself with people who truly care. So, whatever challenges you face, remember Esther, courage and hope. Life can change quickly, and sometimes, the best things come from unexpected places. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing tales. And tell me in the comments, what would you have done if you were Esther? Until next time, stay strong, stay kind, and keep believing in your own story. Bye.